Pluto, this is Punkworks. Or maybe I'm Punkworks and this is Pluto. I don't really know. Anyway, today we're going to talk about using shell within the game Greyhack and the functions of do and db. Do is the scripting system, allows you to do things in batches instead of manually doing stuff. You can tell it to do a whole bunch of things all at once. That's why it's called do. You're like, do this. Okay. And db is for databasing. It's how you database all the vulns that you come across so that you don't have to scan stuff every time you fucking come across it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about how to do script. So you might notice over here I've got a simple one, do one, pwgen, and then a pipe, and then pwgen hash. This is simply going to perform this action and then this action, and that's it. Pretty cool, right? So instead of typing one, pressing enter, waiting for that entire process to finish, and then typing the second command 20 minutes later, it'll just do it. So you can walk away and have tea, and then both will be done by the time you get back. Great stuff. Okay, over here I've got a simple clock. It updates itself along with the game time. The game time is about 4 seconds to 1 second real life, so you can make a little script that loops every couple seconds and updates the game time. Let's take a look at what that looks like. Okay, so we have a little script in a file called clock. Let's go ahead and take a look here. It's down here, clock. And the file has this couple of commands. It's time-d, as you can see here. If I do time-d, we get the time and date. Okay, and it pipes that into echo, which then takes a little bold flag, says the time is, and then this gets concatenated onto the end of that, so that you have over here the time is that, and then it kind of stretches out. So, but yeah, the time is, and then it updates every 4 seconds or so. You can also change this if you want. So what we could do is replace that line with pause, let's say 0.1. Okay, so we save that, and then we're going to go over here. We're just going to kill that, and we're going to start it up again. Okay, so you can see what it looks like. We're going to do 100,000, and it's a file, and the file is called clock, and so it's going to do that. And then you can see it's if I kind of do this, you'll be able to see it's like update. Well, yeah, you can kind of see it's updating a lot faster now, as opposed to when it was just updating every 4 seconds. It's now updating every 1/10 of a second, so it should keep very, more or less accurate time. Cool stuff, right? So over here, this is going to, once we press enter, it's going to load up a hash table and then write a whole bunch of passwords to file. And it's going to take a long time to accomplish that. So we're just going to do that and then let it run in the background. So good stuff. So far, so good, right? Not too hard. Now, you don't have to put stuff in a file in order to do it. You can, of course, like you saw here, do one. You can do a very simple command, which is like ping. If it's only like 1 or 2 words, you don't even need to use quotes. You can just do 1 and then ping it, or you can do 2. Ping, right? And it'll do it twice. Now, so what we might want to do at some point is maybe get a whole lot of commands together so that we can do some hacking or something like that, hack into a thing automatically. So one thing that we have is dig. Dig is a program that will use both db and do in combination to basically automate your hacking. But we're not going to go there today. We're just going to kind of do it simply. And the best way, I think, to accomplish this is to do an actual mission so that I can show you how to use db and do in the most effective manner. So that's what we're going to do next. Right then, so let's get to it. Let's do a mission. As you can see, our task here, it finished. It took a long time to accomplish that, 1,377 seconds, and it's a great thing that we didn't have to sit there and wait for it to happen. Okay, but now we have a cheeky little hash table loaded up on our machine, right there. It's great. It's cool stuff. Cool stuff. But we'll get to that later. First things first, client wants the login credentials of any user on the remote machine. The remote IP of the victim is 102.204.178.80. And they want you to access the LAN IP 192.168.12.2. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so this is what we've got. We've got a network here that is just random letters and a few machines on the network, or a couple actually, just a couple machines. Okay, so we need to get to that subnet right there. First thing we do, metalink remote. We've already scanned this lib. See, it's kernel router 1.0.8, and we already have that in our database. Take a look. I don't have a lot of them in the database, but kernel router 108 is right there. So cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, since we already have it databased and linked, we're going to fire a shot with Zap. And I'm thinking we want a bounce, because those are super useful, since that's the LAN IP that we want right there. So we're going to use a bounce. Enter the LAN IP, and we have a computer object with credentials from the user, that guy, or girl, gal, person, individual, NPC. I don't know who they are. So we're going to take a look at their home directory, and there's just one user, email, bank account. Okay, and then there's the password file that has root and the person's, password. So we're going to hit 3, and this is a lot of, it doesn't actually, as you'll see here, it dumped it all into a file called pass, and it did not, duplicate anything. It's all individual entries. So the next thing you're going to do is we're going to load up Cerebrum, and since we have root tables TP, we're going to say yes. Actually, we could have just pressed enter, since that's the default. If we would have just pressed enter, it would have just said yes. Anyway, it imports all the passwords from there. That's like 355,000 of them. And now what we can do is go for pass. That was the file that we wrote all the stuff to. And there we go. We have a password for this person right there. We're just going to reply with the password, and the customer is satisfied with the job. Awesome. Okay, that's one down. Next, they want to modify information of a police record. This will be a little bit more difficult than just getting a password. So, by the way, we only attacked a router. We didn't actually do anything that would have left a log on this machine. That little exploit that we used, it doesn't leave a log on the machine that it targets. There is a log on the router there. Actually, no, I don't think there's even a log on the router because we didn't get a shell. So yeah, there would be no log for us to clean up on that network, so we actually don't even have to worry about it. We're just going to clear, we're going to purge, and we're going to move on. All right, next target. I'm going to do a different mission, where this one's going to be an academic records mission, so we want to change some grades in the academic record. The remote IP 129.138.157.231 on the LAN IP 192.168.1.3. Fluret Satoshian would like to have their programming increased to at least by 1 point. Let us see if we can oblige. And we're not even going to go back to our original system. We're going to just keep doing this from the police network that we jumped onto. Went ahead and made sure to clear out any logs other than the connection so that we don't have to worry about that action. And then I'm just going to go ahead and move my rootkit to root. And then I'm just going to go. Okay, let's do this. New target. Okay, we want 1.3. That's right there. So let's go for port 80 again. We do have it databased. We can get a guest shell if we want. Okay. Another option is this is a port that is open. It's usually not open, but let's go ahead and try it. So let's target port 3306. And we also have SQL linked up. So there's a root shell on that one. I think that that's definitely the one that we should use. But we're just going to pretend that we don't have that already database. So as usual, I'm going to do database-r after I've linked my target. And it's going to go through, and this is a slightly slower machine, so it's going to take a little bit longer. Let me speed that up for you. Okay, so that scan finished. And as we already knew, we got a root shell out of that. So let's go ahead and take advantage of that root shell. And we're going to upload, whoops, sorry, let's try that again. Alright, so we're going to take advantage of that root shell by uploading our rootkit. There we go. Okay, and we've run it on our new target, so now we're on that new target there. And what we actually need to do is change a student's grade. So we need to open up the terminal again and then open up a GUI. So let's go ahead and do that. Do that. And then we have to quit out completely. There we go. Okay. Now that we're live on the target, we can use the student viewers little dealio there. We're looking for Florette. And there is Florette. And she would like, let's give her, let's do 6.3. Okay, and we save. Good. And we ask if we are done. And the customer is satisfied with the job. We have gotten the monies. So let's go ahead and close that up. Now we're going to want to make sure that we cover some tracks here. So let's go ahead and do that. And let's do it the, appropriate way. Shell. We got a root target here, so we're going to go ahead and do silent clean -d. Actually, silent clean dash -. So files nuked, and we're out of this one. Let's go ahead and exit. Then our kit shell. We're of course root again. But we want a root reverse shell going on. Definitely. Yeah, okay. So then we're going to do a silent clean again. Exit. Exit again. And then that turned off. Oops. Forgot my own password. Alright, so we fire up shell again, right? And we still have that root reverse shell going. Oops, that was the wrong button. So I can just do number 5, and the log is scrubbed. And so all of our traces from that are gone as well. And remember that we used a proxy, that police website that we just jumped onto, as a go-between between us and this university here. So we are free and clear. No traces. So we do that. Fun stuff. Okay, real quick, we're going to do a super easy mission. Okay, the client wants the login credentials of a specific user, Greenum. And those are the easiest missions in the world. Let me show you why. So we're going to take that. That's username. We're going to go over here. We're going to go over here. Do that. Then we're going to get this. And we're going to do that. Then we're going to push that button. And there is the password. And we are done. Done. See? Easy. Okay, second to last mission I'm going to do here is going to be kind of a brute forcey kind of mission. The client wants login credentials of any user on the remote machine, and that means root is a user, and root is the same password on every machine on a network, so we're going to just blast on into that. Now I want to show you dig. Dig is something that uses the DB tool and the do tool that I told you about earlier in the video together. So what is going to happen here is dig, once I launch it, it's going to load in up all my passwords that I loaded. It's going to check the database against this target, and then it's going to automatically upload itself to the machine. It is then going to do an IP config, and then a probe, and then it is going to do a Brutus, and it's going to do an rclean. Brutus is going to tell me the password. Rclean is going to clean up the tracks. It's then going to exit back to me, and then I'm going to know the password. Cool stuff, right? So here's how we do that. Dig IP. Passwords are already loaded up. See, it checked the dictionary. Did the scan, did the upload. Now I have the password. It's right there. And the customer is satisfied with the job. Task complete. Okay, the last mission I want to do here is a little bit different. I want to do a Reputation 1 mission, since we leveled up from all those previous ones. I want to do a level 1 mission. So we're going to accept this guy right there. Okay, in the mission, the client wants you to enter a remote machine and get a file that contains important information for them. The remote IP of the victim is 223.96.148.47, and the LAN IP is 10.0.14.6, and the path is home. That person's name, and then salesreport.bin. So we're doing a little bit of corporate espionage. Fun. Okay. Let's go ahead and clear that out. We're going to do our probe. First things first, do our probe. And the target that we're looking for is actually got import forwarded. So we're just going to go ahead and database that. Oops, that was the router. I didn't actually need to do that, but it's useful to know that there is a bounce in the event that I need that. But I actually want to do target port, what was that, 80. I'm going to database that instead. There we go. That's our target, and we have nothing on there because nothing is active. We can change that. Let's do a little bit of social engineering. Okay. So let me get this person's name. There we go. Let's see. Do I want the admin on? No, I want the user online. Hello, this person. Oh, I wonder if I probably need to do that from the admin's email, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to try to get the admin online. Hello, admin. I'm this person, and let's see, who are you? I work with you. There's the company name right there. Okay. The admin's name is right here. Okay, go. And then the admin's email address. There we are. Now I just want to let you know, we're actually requesting that the admin get online to the exact thing that we're trying to target. So just to let you know that what we're doing is putting us at risk by doing this. Okay? And they just said that they will log in. Cool stuff, right? Okay, so they're logging in. I wonder if they logged into the router as well. They did not log into the router as well. Make sure I'm looking at the right IP address. Okay, but they did log into... Wait a second. Sometimes my brain plays tricks on me. But yeah, sorry, the admin did log into other computers on the network, just not the router, and this is not our target. This is a different machine on the network. Sorry about that. But yeah. Okay, so anyway, same thing. We're still hooked up to that same address. We're just going to hit it again. And now we have a shell, a credentialed shell. Good stuff. So that's our in on the target. So we're going to open that up, and we're going to upload our rootkit. Okay, there we go, there we go. Now we're not going to open the terminal on this one, okay? Because we don't need to, frankly. First thing we're going to do is we're going to look in the password file. Sorry. Actually, I'm just, yeah, get etc. password. There we go. And we're going to grab that root password right there. We're going to do md5-d. We're just going to crack it in place using the NPC's hardware power. And generally speaking, I would use my tables to make this a lot faster, but just for the sake of tutorials, I'm trying to show you the less cheesy version, because using a password table is, I guess, kind of cheesy, even though it's like more realistic to use a password table, let's be honest. So yeah, and all of my password table is doing is the exact same thing as the game is doing with this, which is looking up that pattern in the table and matching it to that password. Okay, so now that I have the password, I'm going to use the same sudo command, but I'm not going to use it to open the terminal. I'm going to say no here, and that just puts the root shell in the buffer for me. See? It's right there. And all I'm going to do with that is I'm going to go ahead and run shell, and I'm going to do an R shell so that I have a root level reverse shell that I can go back to later on. Okay? And that is actually all I need to do there. So now I exit out of that. I'm back on my machine. Okay? Go back into the reverse shell, and that's the reverse shell that I was needing, right? 3 is for SCP, and this is where I'm copying. There we go. I'm going to save it in root. I'm going to download it. Takes a second, sorry. Okay, so now that it's downloaded, I am going to attach the file, salesreport.bin. I'm going to send it. The customer is satisfied with the job. We have done an espionage. There we go. Now, I don't want this anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and remove it, and that's gone. But also I need to cover my tracks. So let's go back into this reverse shell here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the RSI interface, and I'm going to select the shell that I want, and I'm just going to hit rclean. Okay, and that's going to take care of scrubbing the log for me so that I don't have to worry about it. And I could kill that R shell if I wanted to, but I'm just not going to worry about it. Okay, so in conclusion, today we learned about DB databasing. Straightforward stuff. You just, DB something. We've learned about do for scripting, batch commanding. You can either in the editor here, you can just do a number, and then it opens up the editor and you can type in something, whatever you want, even if it's wrong, And then to fire it, you press the @ symbol. Obviously this is not a command, but it'll still try it. That's do. You just give it a whole bunch of commands and it'll do it. And you can either do it, in line here, do one, blush. It's echo blush. That's you can do that, or you can do like, open the editor, or you can do a file full of commands, and it'll, whatever you want, whatever command you see in there, it will do. And of course, dig is going to let you combine the two for cheesy auto hacking. I don't actually provide you with an auto hacking script for do beyond the basic, infiltrate and see what's going on, grab the password, which is a lot. But beyond that, you can actually automate all kinds of things, have it spread automatically as much as you want, and do all kinds of weird stuff, complete entire missions. But that's kind of stuff you have to figure out, on your own, and through Discord and that sort of thing. And through, I'm going to use all of this in the future videos. So just, you'll see me use all of it as we go, and you'll get the hang of it. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, because it super helps me to be able to make more of these. So thanks. I appreciate you. All right. Bye.